and not so much against Fox, because Fox is so fast, and Corrin is not. She's got a lot of range in the air, so like you have to like trying to threaten her whenever she's landing is pretty hard. But she doesn't actually have that much movement, so Fox can get into positions where he can use his really, really good dash attack, set up for shielding, like power shielding and jabs and up tilts on landing, and once you get knocked in the air, it can be a really, really hard time just getting anything going then, because you can go to ledge afterwards, but then you're sacrificing position, and you have to fight from there instead.
Well, let's see who's going to come out with the W in this next game. Another match for the folks at home, T-reks versus TheMaxKid. T-reks, great tag, I will say. I like it. It's cute.
It's cute. Yeah.
It's very cute. You know what? Some days you just want to be a dinosaur. In the background right now, there's a man who wants to be a dinosaur. He's just thinking about like, I gotta be a person today. Why don't I just be a dinosaur?
Be a T-rex.
What kind of a dinosaur would you be?
I can't remember the name of the pterodactyl would be really cool.
Pterodactyl?
Yeah.
Why did I know you were gonna say pterodactyl? Like in my brain, I was just like, that's a pterodactyl, man.
Yeah. You got me pegged.
And speaking of dinosaurs, T-reks opting for Yoshi here, going off against Cloud. And I'll tell you what, while Yoshi has some amazing aerial mobility as well as that armor, I think that Cloud might be a potential problem. I mean, Cloud does have some pretty insane range, and that could present some issues for Yoshi, who really does need to get in to really lay out some of this punishment.
Yeah, especially because that's a lot of times how Cloud is played, is sort of like a more defensive, reserved character. Like he moves towards his end of the stage and charges limit and says, "Okay, what is your response? Are you going to run at me? Okay, cool. Now I'll just counter hit your movement. You're not running at me? Sweet. I'll get a full limit. And here's 30 damage. I'll go back to my corner. I'm charging. What is your response?"
Now I feel off stage, Yoshi does have some advantages that other characters don't. The armor allows him to get around that nair that a lot of Clouds use to edgeguard. Though at this kind of a percent, I'd still be very terrified.
Yes. Yeah, it is getting about 50% where the knockback goes on the neutral layer. Will be cutting through the reduction on Yoshi's double though.
There's that nair that we touched on. Becoming a factor in this match. Forward air. T-reks, such a high percent. Ooh. Finally, Max is able to start finding those auto-cancel window, the auto-cancel window on those dairs. Do that a bit more consistently, he might be able to find the final opening he needs to close this game out.
Chases the roll, but doesn't actually get the follow-up afterwards. Oh, kind of a wild fall with the dare, honestly. It's usually pretty safe to follow with that move just because it's such a big hitbox, you know, it all cancels and such. But T-reks was so far in towards center stage. It would have been a much safer action there to land on the ledge, or even just like on the stage at the very tip there. That we would have been far enough away. It would have been pretty difficult for T-reks to get the punish.
Feels like with that stock exchange, we've seen a drastic change in the gameplay as well. Now it feels like MaxKid is a bit more on the offensive than T-reks was. Do you think he should be playing that offensive style, or is the defensive style the way that he should be going?
I think in that situation it does make sense to play the more offensive style because he just died, so he has 0 limit charge. The odds of him being able to get up to a limit again and use that to finish the stock off are pretty slim. And during that time, you know, there's a decent chance he's going to be trading hits. And you don't want to be trading hits when you're at a deficit. So instead, like going in, trying to go for the smashes to like set up for the back air kill, set up the up air kill, I think was the proper decision.
He does have that limit, but I don't think he's actually been able to connect with any of these limit-broken moves yet.
Not yet, no. Oh, but that time, finding the combo off of the back air, and that will kill Yoshi.
That is heartbreaking for T-reks. It felt like he was in firm control.
Yeah, he was.
Of that entire game. But right then, just that final moment, and that shows you a couple of things: how powerful stage control can be, but also how powerful Cloud's limit-broken cross-slash can be.
Cloud is interesting from like a spectator's perspective, because especially if someone who like enjoys theory for fighting games, because you may have heard the idea of like critical points in a game, where there's one point in the game oftentimes where like it shifts, or momentum happens, where the game is actually won, and the rest of it is just like playing out the results. And Cloud makes the critical points very, very obvious. So he glows blue. You know he wants to hit you with the limit break. The question is, which one is he going to use, and will he actually land it? And if he lands them, it hurts.
Even offstage, I think Cloud offstage at times can be even more terrifying than an on-stage Cloud with limit. He can get the grab to send you off stage initially, then just drop zone cross slash. That's something that we've seen from Denti,
Yeah.
from Cloud players like Mewtwo King. I mean, the list really goes on. Cross-up cross slash, okay. MaxKid running right through T-Rex's shield earlier. Even though he's down in percent, it feels like he's a lot more comfortable. He has that limit fully locked, and T-Rex has to be thinking about that going forward. I'm MaxKid, I'm looking at these shields, and I'm thinking about potential chances to get some of those grabs.
Okay, goes for the dash attack punish. Probably could have got side B there if he wanted to, but dash attack much easier. Ooh, manages to slip out of the cross slash.
There's honestly a few, like a pixel or two away from death.
Yeah.
This does give T-Rex a bit of breathing room, a chance to really push the advantage. MaxKid has to start over, jab into F smash. We've seen it so many times from T-Rex, and he's just going to continue with that option.
That up smash coming in to hit hard, but on this stage and with no rage, not going to be killing Yoshi at that percent.
Definitely put a dent. Back air is going to be in a, oh!
Not quite.
I lied to the viewers. Yoshi, of course, a Dinosaur, bit heavier.
Yeah, with how floaty he is, sometimes it can be surprising. It seems like he should be dying at percents where sometimes he doesn't. But yeah, now just with 2 down airs, 56 damage on MaxKid.
Absolutely
Lots
insane.
of extra credit coming through from T-reks.
Having a lot of leeway into this next stock. MaxKid gets a grab. We'll let him put up limit, but man, at this kind of a percent, I'd hate to use my limit like right away.
There are definitely other ways he could be finishing this stock off. Like, sweet spot down air might do it, the back air might do it, up smash. F tilt actually at the ledge, I'm sure would be enough.
But he's just been going for a lot of these F smashes, very swing happy. T-Rex is doing a great job of just being outside of these ranges, these threat zones that Cloud really has.
Yeah, now living to 177%. With that much rage, it's gonna be scary for Cloud. Gonna be more than enough knockback on that down B to take that stock.
Maybe an ode to the wall as well, repping the purple Yoshi after all.
Maybe.
The wall being arguably the best Yoshi main in the world, definitely the best Yoshi main in Texas.
That's actually a good question. I'm not sure. I haven't watched all of Zero's videos on who the best players are for each character. So yeah, I would be curious to see who he put as Yoshi's best.
You know, he actually put down the wall, but low-key, apparently Sky Williams is a monster with Yoshi.
Really? Okay. Going into Game 3, going to be on Town and City. A bit of an advantage for Cloud. These platforms, if he decides to play super evasive, he can use those platforms to jump around. It can be pretty difficult to catch him. And of course, Cloud, pretty good at killing people off the top, with whether it be up air, up smash, or with the finishing touch. It is something you definitely have to keep an eye out on.
Even though we don't see it as much due to that nerf in the more recent patches, it still is so threatening, like you mentioned so far.
Yeah, combos into it not as good since it doesn't have as much knockback on the aerial version. But T-Rex slipping a little bit, not spacing his egg throw correctly.
Beyond the fact that he SD'd, it hurt because the MaxKid still has limit available to extend the lead he already has. This is going to be a tall order for T-Rex to pull off, I'll be honest. But if you can have one of those insane stocks like he did last time, or maybe like he has right now, was that a double nair into a forward air?
Yeah.
Brutal.
That is exactly what he needed to get back into this game. Still got a bit of a percent deficit, but much easier to come back from that. And Cloud, as we saw right there, not the most durable character off stage.
Keep in mind that he does have to start over again whenever it comes to charging up that limit. Another disadvantage that he's at. Ooh, tricky. I thought he was just going to run back to center his charge limit. Actually pushes the advantage, gets the dash attack for that extra damage. T-Rex staring triple digits and a Cloud with that limit, but that limit has just been expended to no avail for the MaxKid. This kind of a percent, those grabs give him so much time. I would have expected a forward throw there. It's too low of a percent to KO with the up throw.
Yeah. Oh, again, the down B coming through. T-Rex has landed a lot of those, and that up air is so high up with all that rage. T-Rex actually comes back and takes the game.
That one moment.
That one moment. That is a good definition of a critical point. When you land that. And it's like, oh boy, here we go. We got ourselves a real match.
We really did. We really did. And you saw the result too, even in the player cam sent reeling back after that. That was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
we've seen some crazy sets.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just the very beginning of the bracket. We still have so many of our regulars more known to the viewers at home, more known to the Smash 4 community as a whole. But it's still great to see glimpses of these newer players.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, we have 75 people here today. A lot of them, will be known, like the regulars we get in coming through. But yeah, there are a lot of faces in the scene that we don't necessarily get to see on stream, just because the nature of tournaments. Not everyone can be winning, so.
It's true. It's true. Are you competing today, by the way?
Yes.
That's really exciting. I think you might have a match to play right now, actually.
Okay.
So with that in mind, great casting with you.
Absolutely.
Hopefully
I'm sure I'll be back on later on tonight.
Hopefully you can capitalize on some critical points in your own match.
Of course, of course.
Take care, man. I don't know why you came this way either, man. You're so tall. Do crazy Cephalodon things with Roy? Yeah, Cephalodon. That's the loser's bracket Cephalodon. Yeah, top 8. And sometimes you just need the break. You clear your mind. You come back with a fresh perspective.
He is he's a man to be reckoned with. He saw I think it was Abadongo's tier list, completely inflamed right now.
Yeah, wasn't it Roy
Roy was second to last.
Garbage tier?
He was just above Ganondorf.
That's crazy, man.
And so
that's ridiculous, dude.
So Sethlon is on a mission to show everyone that Roy, he is our boy, and he's definitely not the second worst in the game.
Can we see our boy on stream? Is that a thing, Em?
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Can we see Cephalodon on stream?
Cephalodon?
Next round. Next round.
Is he a Dinosaur now?
No, I mean that's just the thing. It's always been losers bracket Cephalodon.
Okay. Man.
Well, if his bracket plays out the way that it is, we might see him going off against a familiar Falco main.
Yeah, I was okay. So I was watching a match of his earlier, and I was so upset against him. I was so upset for him because he had lost the first one, and he had barely won the second one. And I took him aside before he played his third match, and I was like, "Dude, talk to him real quick. Ban the stuff. I need to talk to you." And I was like, and he's just like, "Okay." He's like, "Oh man, am I in trouble?" And I was like, "So I'm upset with you." And I want, like, "Do you know why?" And he's like, "Nah." I was like, "You could have killed him 6 times in that last game." And he was just like, "What?" And I was like, "All you need to do is go off stage and forward air when he's trying to recover." The guy was playing Ness, and Domino obviously playing Falco. So game 3 happens. Guess what both of his kills were?
Forward airs off stage.
While he was recovering. And after he won, I just looked at him, and I was just like, so Domino, and he's like, "Shut up."